Family tensions between my aunt and I escalated in my underground bunker during a tropical storm. She chose the storm over apologizing, only to return soaking wet and humbled. There are a lot of tropical storms where I live, and there have been quite a few close calls in my family almost dying because of a storm. So about 4 years ago my dad and I upgraded an underground bunker in my home. Everything was fortified and I added in more comforts, like a fridge and bunk beds that would be attached to the walls. The room can comfortably fit about 7 people, maybe a few more, but it would be tight. We built it so any family in the area would have a safe place to go. Sadly my dad passed away last year, and recently I moved my office space down into the bunker so I'd feel like a part of him was still with me. Luckily nothing major has hit my area in a while, but just in case, whenever there is a warning, my immediate family in the area usually comes over to my place and stays in the bunker. Most of my immediate family all get along, but my dad's sister is something else. She always complains about anything and everything. It's almost impossible to get her to shut up. Every time she comes to the bunker she nitpicks and complains. There isn't enough space, the food isn't good, the temperature is too cold or hot, she doesn't get a bigger bed to herself. It's nauseating. But warnings usually only last a few hours, and sometimes she doesn't even show up when a warning hits. Other family members can't stand her either, but just suck it up since safety is more important than sanity, sometimes. Anyway, a few weeks ago there was a really bad storm that hit. It destroyed a lot of people's homes, and I believe a few lost their lives. The storm was far from my house though, so all we got was some hard rain. At the time, my family members started arriving and we all got down into the bunker for safety. Once everyone was inside, including my aunt, we all pulled out some board games and planned to wait it out. I had a strong internet connection in the bunker due to my workspace, so I was able to keep track of the movement of the storm and knew we'd be fine. It was just a small family hangout of 10 people stuffed into a bunker like sardines. My aunt started complaining about an hour in. We were all used to it and ignored her for the most part. But then she started going on a rant about how she didn't feel safe, as this bunker couldn't have been built properly, since her brother was such a failure at anything he did. My wife tried to change the subject, but she just kept complaining about how unsafe she felt. A few other members of my family told her to stop being rude, but she just kept going. I told her if she really felt unsafe, she could just leave and find someplace else to stay. She told me she easily could, I just happened to be the closest one to her. I said fine, the main part of the storm was miles away, and it was just heavy rain right now, that she was safe to go find somewhere else. Everyone in my family was really quiet at this point, because they knew how stubborn we both could be. She told me I owed her an apology and I laughed in her face. She huffed and told her daughter it was time to go. My cousin told her this was the safest place for her baby right now, so she wasn't going anywhere. That made my aunt furious and she stormed off. I followed after her and told her she didn't have to go, but I wouldn't stand for her talking poop about my dad. She kept walking and ignored me. About a half hour after she left, is when I started to feel guilty and was debating to go out and look for her. We all listened to the news of the storm more intently, and sat in silence. Soon after I got a notification on my phone that someone was at my front door. It was my aunt. I told the others, and everyone was relieved. When she came back into the bunker she was soaking wet and looked like a drowned rat. I told her she could only stay if she apologized. Hesitated at first, but my cousin told her mom to just do it as she was in the wrong. She apologized, went over to one of the cots, and just fell asleep. I don't know how long she was out in the rain, running around looking for someplace to stay, but she was exhausted. My cousin told me later that she had gone to 2 of her friends' homes, only to find they had evacuated. For the rest of the storm everyone felt more at ease and we just relaxed until we got the all clear. My aunt was the first one out of the bunker and I haven't heard from her since. I have a feeling she wants to tell me off, but knows my bunker is her safest option in case of a storm, and she doesn't want to burn that bridge again.